Good morning. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. I'm here at 4146 Mihcael Avenue in Los Angeles, and I'm preparing to perform a video examination of the main sewer line for Michelle Barinsky. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping that is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping that would be underneath or interior to the structure. Our examination today is not focused on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set up through our office. So I'm going to be performing my examination today from this 4-inch clean-out access that we were shown here off the back of the building. This is just outside our French door landing here off the back in this converted patio area. Look down just to the right of the steps or the landing, you'll see this 4-inch cap here. And as we drop in, the line actually comes out 45 degrees and then runs over, turns another 45 degrees and runs over towards the far right side of the property. And then it's going to run up along the right side of the house towards the front. And then once it gets to the front of the house, it's going to then turn to run towards the middle of the yard before it has to turn out onto the street. Now, this first couple of feet of piping here is holding water. This is a newer installation of a clean-out. There's a short section here that looks like it's been put in recently, and it's not sloped correctly. And we're holding as much as, we got maybe 2 inches of water here. So this is not an ideal situation. This area has a tendency to collect debris and have a higher potential for blockages. You can actually see the standing water as you look down towards the bottom of the clean-out. Alright, so we'll come around that turn here. As we come around this, you see the connection from the newer short section of plastic to a section of original clay. We're making that first 45-degree turn here. And starting to encounter root intrusions in the line, the joint areas. Now, these vitrified clay pipe materials are very common for main sewer line systems. This type of piping does have a long service life expectancy. Being a natural material, it's less likely to deteriorate underground, but it is fairly brittle in nature and does have a higher potential for damage during seismic activity, earthquakes, things like that. Now, you see here we've got a broken section of pipe with this joint here. You can see the crack coming off of it. And just a few inches forward, you can see where the pipe is actually broken and shifting some. Roots and soil coming in at that break. And just beyond that, then, is the next joint with some more cracking and damage. We're going to continue along here and get a good look at everything. We may be recommending partial replacements, maybe rehabilitation, something of that nature. More cracking around this joint, so there's a lot of stress on this line. Making our second 45-degree turn now and heading towards the right side, and then shortly we're going to make a 90-degree turn and start heading towards the front. And again, just more of the same. Cracks around the joints, root intrusions of the joints. The root intrusions themselves are not really a problem. That's a fairly common condition in these older clay lines. Normally, if they are isolated at the joints, then we're recommending that they can be maintained with regular sewer line cleaning. It's when they're left unmaintained for extended periods that they can create blockages in the system or potentially damage a pipe. Now, in a situation like this, we're seeing the stress from those roots. We really just want to get a good idea if we have continuing cracking or anything more significant here through the system. We may start discussing the possibility of replacing the line, rehabilitating with an improved lining system, something of that nature. Some debris on the lens here I'm trying to get washed off, so I apologize for the shaking here. A little bit better. Alright, so we're heading up along the right side of the property now towards the front. Now, the criteria for main sewer line cleanouts are basically threefold on a system. It's one, as the pipe is exiting the structure, after every 135 degrees of turn, which we have just exceeded, and then every 100 feet of pipe. Now, this line is not only in excess of 100 feet, so you're going to have a couple more bends or turns. So regardless of any replacements, it should have additional clean out for effective maintenance. And I've tracked the line over here on the right side of the house, kind of in an area that's under the dirt. And we might be discussing putting a second clean out there if we don't find any other significant damage. And right here at about 70 feet, we're up near the front right corner of the structure. We're making a 45-degree turn to now start running at an angle across the front yard. Just more and more common roots through this line. I'm not seeing as much of the stress cracking now as we get further out and the line gets a little bit deeper. Now here we've got, looks like maybe a test fitting where roots are coming down. This is a fitting similar to a clean out that would have a termination cap. The termination cap has been compromised, so roots are coming down through that opening. We get just past that, and we're seeing some more cracking in this elbow. Roots coming through those cracks. So these are all compromises to the pipe, anywhere we have a crack with roots in it. And here we're coming up on a 45-degree turn to start heading back out towards the street. Looks like we got a little bit of a lip to hop over here, and then we're hitting a more significant root intrusion. Probably not going to be able to punch our camera through. Let's see if we can get this washed off. Coming around a turn and hitting a more solid root mass here at about 95 feet. The camera's not going to punch through that. You can see water is just barely going through the bottom there. Let's see if we can get a photograph of that for the report. Best shot we're going to get of it right there. Alright, so at this point I think the best thing to do is get another clean out put in, and I get the line thoroughly cleaned so we can see everything before we give our final repair recommendations. If there's anything else broken or damaged here out under the street, we may be talking a more extensive repair or replacement, but at a minimum we need better access to maintain it. And then this line through the backyard here before it wraps around the right side, it's pretty rough condition. Certainly is a candidate potentially for rehabilitation or maybe a partial replacement, but again, before I give final repair recommendations, I want to see the entire line. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video portion of the examination for today, and my written report will describe the final findings and recommendations for today's examination. This is Mark Harrison of Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much, and have a pleasant day.